The Joe Rogan Experience.
It's perceived enemies. Anybody with a gun. That's the whole thing. If you have a gun, you're not very intelligent.
Why's that?
Because you're paranoid.
Wait a minute. If you have a gun, you're not intelligent because you're paranoid?
Having a gun means that you're afraid that someone's going to come and attack you.
Right.
And so that having a gun is like they want to arm teachers, for instance.
That seems kind of crazy.
That is so stupid.
Yeah.
It is so dumb.
Right.
And just like the ones that know about guns, like the cops that didn't go into the school, they knew the guy's got a AK. They're not going to go into that school with their little pistols. And so they didn't go into the school. And the ones that rushed the guy, they ended up dying. So what I'm saying is that if you have a gun, and if you think you need a gun for your house, for whatever, if you think you have something that's worth someone else's life, then you are ignorant.
Well, I don't necessarily think that's what they think. They don't think that the gun is worth someone else's life. They think they don't want to get their life taken by a home invasion, which does happen.
Did you see that video of the guy that had a raccoon on his boat?
No. He had a raccoon on his boat?
Yeah. He saw
a pet raccoon?
It was a wild raccoon, and he filmed it. And he's 20 miles out in the sea, and he sees this raccoon, and so he filmed himself kicking the raccoon off the boat.
Into the ocean?
Into the ocean.
Aww.
He filmed it. And then he posted it because he had no idea how ignorant that was. He had no idea.
Well, was the raccoon dangerous? Was it trying to bite? The raccoons will fuck you up. They will fuck you up.
Oh, sure. But like the wildlife guys said, just get a blanket, throw it over, and put him in the bathroom until you get close to shore, and then kick him off.
Yeah.
But this guy right away, he freaked it out. And he said, "This is my boat. Get off my boat."
Terrible way for a raccoon to die too.
Well, see, that's a form of ignorance that I'm talking about.
It's also just fear.
It's fear. Yeah. That's what fear is. Fear is ignorance.
Right, but if someone has a gun in their house to protect themselves from home invasions do happen, and people have saved their family with guns. That's a real thing.
Well, you don't read about that much.
Oh, you read about it plenty if you go looking for it.
Really?
Yeah, there's
Someone
plenty of
stories.
If you look at the overall, they have like a pie chart of gun violence in this country, and an unfortunately large number is suicides. When they start talking about how many people have died, unfortunately large number is suicide by gun. And I feel like if people are going to kill themselves with a gun, they probably kill themselves with pills or anything else if they had that as well, right? And then there's justifiable homicides by the police. There's people that are protecting their house. There's gang violence. There's a bunch of different things that get lumped in when we talk about gun violence, but a certain percentage of them are people that are protecting their house or their family from someone who's trying to hurt them.
Yeah, it
does happen occasionally.
I'm in business with a ex pilot from Vietnam, and I'm quite sure he has a sidearm in his house. Mm-hmm. But it would be useless because it's so locked away and so hidden by the time anything happened. By the time he got to that gun and got it loaded and found the ammunition and everything else.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe he could keep it right by his bed.
No,
but
if someone
broke into his house, that wouldn't be the case.
In this one instance. Mm-hmm. And then what if it's your daughter or something coming in late at night and you mistake her for...
Well, you open your mouth and you say something. Just go shooting into the dark.
Or what if you have homicidal tendencies and you've been see, one thing I learned about guns, because I grew up with guns too. I grew up in the country. And
where'd you grow up?
In Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Oh, really? Oh, that's right. You're Canadian.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And so guns were...
Did you ever think about moving back up there?
Oh no! I lived up there.
Oh no!
I lived up there.
Oh no!
No, LA is where you want to be, but I grew up with guns where you actually needed a gun.
Right.
Like especially when the hawks are coming down to get your chickens or some stuff like that. But I seen the gun culture in Calgary, and it turned me off because I seen kids. They would take a stray dog and bring him up to the field and tie him to a tree or something, or a post, and then shoot him.
Oh, Jesus.
Shoot him. That is sport. And they couldn't, because here's the thing about guns. I went duck hunting with my brother one time, and in the field, and he got bored waiting for the ducks to come, and so here comes what do you call it?
Is that your phone?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I don't.
It's your wrist.
It's out there somewhere.
It's your wrist. Your wrist is ringing.
He turned it off. No, we went duck hunting, and we're waiting there for hours for the ducks to come over. And my brother, he got bored, and there's a muskrat swimming across the thing, so he shot it with a shotgun. And he walks out into the middle of the slough, picks up the muskrat as the ducks flew over top of us. Just stupidity, man.
Well, that's definitely stupid. But there's responsible gun owners, don't you think?
Well, as they are, like I was in Army cadets, and when we had practice, I'm a sharpshooter, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some what do you call it, patches, sharpshooter, 300 yards. So I know how to handle a rifle anyway. But when we go shooting, we would have to, first of all, we never got the weapon, and until we marched down into firing position, then we were handed the weapon and one bullet. And then we put the bullet in, shoot the target, and another bullet, shoot the target. And then when we were finished, we had to pick up all our casings and give them back. And if anything was missing, no one left until they found that missing bullet. And that's gun safety.
Yeah.
Then the gun was taken from us and put it in an armory. It's only used when you're going to use it, It's just like walking around with a skill saw, You can have a license to carry a skill saw, but you don't have a skill saw strapped to your side. You can take out and try your skill saw anytime you want.
It is. The open carry thing is very strange. When you see people walking around with guns strapped to their hips in Arizona, you're like, okay.
They're targets.
Well,
once you do that, you're a target.
In a way, yeah.
It's like the bikers. Like bikers, the Hells Angels and the Mongols and that, they're the only crime and syndicate I know that advertise. On their back. Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm a thug. I extort. I do all sorts. I beat up people. I kill people. Here, and I ride on a big hog, I mean, it's crazy. But people do that for recognition.
Yeah.
See, that's like mass shooters. That's what they do it for. Get their name in the paper. Look what I did. Look at useless old me. I'm not so useless.
What's the craziest thing about mass shooters is it's not a thing. I mean, guns have been around for a long time, but this is not a thing that's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
This is a fairly recent thing that keeps erupting over and over and over again.
I don't know. You were too young to remember, but when I was a kid, the crime comics were banned.
They were banned?
They were banned because they were bad. They showed violence. They
comic
showed
books.
Comic books.
Wow.
And they were people up in arms about comic books. And now you got video games where you got to be a mass killer.
Well, how about movies? So many movies.
Movies.
John Wick movies. Just everybody's getting shot.
Everybody.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is Peppermint with
Peppermint? What's that?
Jennifer Gardner. Have you seen? You haven't seen that? Oh, check it out. She's a superhero.
Oh,
or
her name is Peppermint.
The name of the movie is Peppermint.
Have you heard of this, Jamie? You have? I'm out of the
like in the last 8 months or something.
Really?
Like not that long ago. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's great.
Really?
I watched it about 3 times now, and the
what?
Yeah.
Why have you watched it so many times?
Oh, I think Jennifer Gardner is kind of hot.
Oh, okay.
And to see her with the guns in her, and the third time I realized a lot of it were stunt people.
How can you tell?
Just I've seen it so many times it wasn't Jennifer.
Oh, okay. So you're looking for everything.
Yeah, I was looking for that little thing. Yeah. But again, that's the kind of violence that we get shown, and people get immune.
Yes.
And especially people. They get stupid, Like when I was a kid, I saw a picture. My brother died recently, and there's a whole picture, photo thing of him and I when we were kids. And they used to get put under the Christmas tree 6 guns. And when we were little guys, we were 3 or 4 years old. I had 6 guns strapped to myself, because
Cowboys and
Roy
Indians.
Rogers
Yeah.
and Gene Audrey. And that was a big deal. You know, you had your 6-gun shooters, but you never shot anybody. You just shot the gun out of their hand, you know.
Yeah, that was the old days. Yeah, right? The good guys always shot people in the hand. They shot the gun away from them. The guy would be like, all right, you got me. Yeah. Different world.